For more now on the campaign, let's bring in ABC's chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, who'll be hosting This Week later this morning. John, good morning to you. Always great to have you. So you interviewed Trump running mate J.D. Vance and asked him about whether Trump believes he's ready on day one. Let's take a look.
Most people, 99% of the country, they don't vote on who the vice presidential nominee. They're voting for Donald Trump or for Kamala Harris, not for J.D. or Tim Walz, right? But what I think that he does believe, because he made it the main focus of his vetting process, is, do I think this person can be president on day one if, God forbid, something happens? Yes. So I absolutely am sure that Donald Trump is confident in my abilities. I also think that he's right, that the politics of this really don't matter that much.
So, John, will that satisfy some of those who may have been questioning his readiness?
Well, look, I think what's notable here, Whit, is that J.D. Vance there was answering a question that Donald Trump himself did not answer, because Donald Trump was asked directly, do you believe J.D. Vance is ready to take over on day one if necessary? And he didn't answer, instead went on to say the vice presidential running mate doesn't matter. And as far as whether or not voters are satisfied with the answer, the bigger issue J.D. Vance faces is some of the more controversial statements and positions he has taken over time. And as you will hear in this interview, we ask him very directly about some of the statements he has made over the recent last few years that have taken considerable blowback in this campaign.
And, John, how have the dynamics of this race changed since Harris and Governor Walz teamed up on the Democratic ticket?
Well, this is a whole new race. I mean, you know, and this is why you see the frustration coming from Donald Trump. He was running against a Joe Biden that, frankly, wasn't really taking the campaign to Donald Trump, somebody who had big issues regarding his age, the energy of his campaign, and all of that. Now you see an entirely energized Democratic ticket. We'll see if they can maintain that energy. But right now, the momentum seems to me to be clearly in Harris's favor. And we saw some polling over the weekend that shows that as well. The New York Times survey of 3 key battleground states shows Harris with a lead of about 4%. If you looked just 3 weeks ago, you would have seen the reverse. You would have seen Donald Trump with the lead in all of those states.
All right, John Karl, for us, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And remember to tune into This Week later this morning. More of John's interview with Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance. Plus, John speaks exclusively with Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota after her state's governor, Tim Walz, became Vice President Harris's running mate. And John checks in with influential radio host Charlemagne the God about the state of the race.